Second Timothy chapter 2. Study to shew yourself what? Thyself what? Approved unto God. A workman that needed not to be what? Ashamed. Rightly dividing the word of truth. 3 things. Study to show what? Yourself approved. Don't come with your own follow-come intelligence and say, I was born with manners and morals. Study. Don't rely on what you think you know. Study. Because you must show yourself what? Approved. What did he say? A workman that need not be what? Ashamed. That is, a workman that should not be disgraced. That should not disgrace himself. That should not embarrass himself. That should not bring himself to what? Public disgrace. So, you must study. So that you don't begin to talk and act in a shameful way. Study. That is, even after you have been brought into that workforce system and God has approved you, you need to keep studying to prove that what? God what? Approved the right person. Where you stop is not where knowledge stops. You have to be a student of topics. There is no problem you are going through that nobody has written a book on. There is no aspect of ministry, of church stewardship that nobody has written there about. That no one has written about. There is no area of the spiritual Christian existence that nobody has written about. But why are we struggling? Why are we struggling? Because we refuse to study. We refuse to identify our problem and find a book that addresses it. Even till now, I can be reading many books, many things at the same time, online, hard copy, soft copy, and be gathering many information at the same time. Because there is no time. You don't have 30 years to allow experience to teach you certain things. Yes, it's true. It takes 30 years, most times, to really gather some experience. And you don't have that number of years. It's not until you die that you know that thou shalt not commit adultery. Reading it in 1 minute will save your life. You don't have to go and experience what it means to bow to other gods. You can just read it. Very simple. And be compliant. One book, even if you are a reader, one book is not designed to address your problem. One book. Even on the judgment day, let's quickly go to the book of Revelations. Revelations 20. I want to show you something. Revelations 20. When you read from verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and books were opened. Pay attention. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were what? Written what? In the books according to their what? Works. What was the first thing he said? Books. Books were open. Many books were open. And they now opened another book called what? The book of life. Which means there are many books that you must have been compliant with the content. So even after you have been compliant, there is another book where we go and verify your name. So that thinking that I was compliant with all the books was not enough to get them into heaven. It was not sufficient enough to admit them into the kingdom. So they now have to open another book, which is the final validation. So imagine those that were not compliant with the books. So which means there is nothing wrong in reading multiple books at the same time. And he said they will be judged according to what? The works of that book. So as a good steward, you want to be an effective steward. See, God has gone past the era of using illiterates. Do you know, in the olden days it used to be illiterates that are answering the work, the assignment. But watch, God is looking into those that are educated, those that are well read. There are many professors now that are pastors, many doctors, many lawyers, engineers. Name it as many as possible. And it looks as if they are putting aside certain people. You must read. You must study. You must improve yourself. Don't dwell in the realm of mental and cerebral opacity that nothing goes into your head. You can't learn anything. Let me tell you, one way or the other we are learning. We are being influenced. When you don't read, you are still learning. You are learning from ignorance. Hallelujah. Don't be buried in what happened. Go and study the Bible and go and check the writings of Paul. You know it's not the writing of a fisherman. Go and check the writing of Luke. You will know a doctor has written something. Look at how he gave an intelligent autopsy of how Judas died. Matthew was telling us something, but Judas said no. Based on from the medical point of view, when we check the way Judas died, it was as if he was mocked. He fell headlong. So that means he checked the head region. The cranial what? region. And the source of fractures in his skull. And so that this head collided with something. And talked about how his bowel was torn asunder and busted in the feet. That okay, probably he was stabbed. But somebody said he committed suicide. Because he could not understand the anatomy of what happened. Because a learned man was giving an account. Was giving an account of an event. There is no way when you see somebody who reads, who studies, and somebody who does not, when they speak, there is difference. There is difference in utterance. There is difference in confidence. There is difference in content. When they say come and do something, come and teach, I can tell if you study. I look at your range of words, your use of words. I begin to look at the things you say, the content, the quality. Then you begin to tell whether that person is a student. No matter what it is, if you are presented with an issue, with a topic or anything, you can't suddenly come up with something that is not in your head before. Don't wait till life now begins to request from you. Don't wait till leadership position is presented to you before you begin to know what leadership means. Before you read on leadership, before you study on leadership. It tells. You cannot be fully profitable until you are pruned, until you are worked on. You can't be fully profitable. You have to be pruned and fine-tuned. And studying is one of the tools. Get books. Read until you become what you read. The same way, if you refuse to read, you will also become what you did not. You become the side effect of not reading. You will realize that you begin to be. See, going to school is not the only thing you need. When you come to the spiritual things, it can humble you. When it comes to spiritual things, it can humble you because it's not your knowledge in the school with which we use to operate here. There are spiritual laws, there are spiritual intelligence that you must know.